A group of youngsters Ravi, Aditi, Nikhil, and Tanya went camping in a foggy hill station near an old, spooky mansion. Ravi, the mischief maker, said, "Bet it's haunted." Nikhil, the oldest, shrugged it off, but Tanya and Aditi shivered at the sight. That night, strange noises echoed, and shadows flickered near their tent. Nikhil said, "Must be the wind," pretending to be brave. Suddenly, something grabbed his foot. A squirrel had sneaked into his sleeping bag. Everyone burst out laughing as Nikhil screamed louder than anyone. Ravi teased, "Some brave one you are," and they all laughed under the eerie moonlight. The next morning, the group decided to explore the old mansion. Ravi joked, "Let's see what scared Nikhil so much." As they wandered through the creaky halls, the wind howled, making the windows rattle. Aditi saw an old painting of a stern-faced man whose eyes seemed to follow them. She whispered, "Is it just me, or is that creepy?" Suddenly, a loud crash came from upstairs. The youngsters froze, staring at each other. Maybe we should leave," Tanya suggested. But before they could run, a door creaked open, and out came a caretaker carrying a broom. "Cleaning day," he said, laughing. The next night, after their terrifying experience in the mansion, all four of them decided to camp farther away, hoping to forget the strange events. They settled by a quiet stream, surrounded by tall, swaying trees. The moon was full, casting eerie shadows on the ground, but they tried to laugh it off. "No more haunted mansions, right?" Ravi joked, though his voice lacked its usual confidence. Just as they started to feel at ease, the wind picked up, and a dense fog rolled in from the hills, blanketing their campsite. "This wasn't in the weather report," Nikhil muttered, trying to keep calm. Suddenly, the fire they had built flickered out, leaving them in complete darkness. Tanya gasped as a faint humming noise filled the air, low, rhythmic, and chilling. Aditi grabbed her flashlight, but the beam barely penetrated the thick fog. "Maybe it's just the wind again?" she suggested helpfully. But then they heard it, a slow, dragging sound, like something heavy being pulled across the ground. It circled their tent, growing louder, closer. The fog seemed to twist and form shapes, tall, looming figures that appeared to watch them. Just when they thought they were imagining things, a handprint, large and muddy, suddenly appeared on the outside of their tent. Their hearts raced, but before they could react, a raspy voice from the darkness whispered, "Leave. Now."
Without a second thought, the group abandoned the campsite, running through the fog. They didn't stop until they reached the main road, breathless and trembling.
As the kids finally reached the road, panting and terrified, they sat down to catch their breath. Just then, they heard a loud laugh coming from behind a tree. Out stepped their older friends, Sam, Meera, and Arjun, holding a fake fog machine, some muddy gloves, and a speaker. "Gotcha," Sam shouted, grinning ear to ear. "What? You?" Ravi yelled, his fear instantly replaced by a mix of relief and anger. Meera waved the speaker. "Yep. The creepy sounds? Totally us. And that handprint? Arjun here did it with his haunted mansion gloves." "We've been following you since you left the mansion," Arjun laughed. "Couldn't resist after seeing how freaked out you guys were." Nikhil's face turned red. "So, the ghost was just you all messing with us the whole time?" "Pretty much." Meera shrugged. "You guys should have seen your faces." Ravi chuckled, shaking his head. "I knew something felt off. But good prank. This time." Tanya let out a sigh of relief. "I can't believe we fell for that." Aditi, still holding her flashlight, smirked. "Next camping trip, you guys are so getting payback." The group, now laughing at themselves, headed back to pack up, already planning their next adventure, this time, with one rule. No more spooky pranks. Or maybe just better ones.